the part where we're cutting them out. I'm gonna show you some really cool hacks. All right, so the first thing you're gonna do is paint your tube. So just put a little bit of the paint out. Another thing that I love about this paint, like I said, it was thick. It's not so thick, but it's nice and thick enough. And I'm gonna give you a good look at this paint. This stuff I've only had to put on the tube one time.
My ear.
Oh,
Hey, Jen,
you cut your ear?
do you mind turning it over so we can see it right side up? Yeah.
So sorry.
Thank you.
And those come in about 14 colors, including pastel, metallic, there's like some neons. So that's a fun product for many of your different painting crafts.
Yes, that's true. You can do glitter. Yeah, so it's pretty easy to put this stuff on. My little trick is you put 2 fingers through the tube like this, and you can kind of hold it without having to touch the sides. And then when you get ready to flip it, you're just gonna put your other fingers in, and then voila, tube transfer.
All right. So Bellamy had a unicorn joke.
Oh, let's hear it.
What street do unicorns live on?
We don't know.
Main Street.
No, nice.
I don't know where everyone's from, but if anyone's from Maine, you gotta or lives on Main Street, you gotta let us know if that checks out.
Oh my gosh, I
wonder
love
if
these
we have
jokes.
any birthdays in the crowd.
Oh, do we have any birthdays? This could be your quarantine birthday party unicorn extravaganza. Yes, you can use washable paint. Did we talk about that?
I don't know, but washable is always a good point for a parent. So
Washable, yes. Watercolors, acrylic, markers.
Yep.
Stickers. I love the sticker idea, actually. And when you told us that we could wrap it with yarn, we almost abandoned everything and went to nothing. Bellamy was like, wait a minute, hold on. Nobody told me that was an option.
I need help getting out the horn.
Okay, I'll help you get out the horn. Just a second.
I'll get out.
Roll it in glitter if you don't have.
Roll it in glitter. That's right.
That's also a great idea. Yep. All right. So the reason why you want to paint your tube first is because it's going to take a little bit of time to dry. And we're going to try to do things in order so that, you know, the things that need a time to dry will have time to dry because you're going to have to start gluing some things on. So I want to make sure that it has the most amount of time to dry and before you're doing that. So once you
we have a birthday.
Oh, yay!
Yay!
She said my
first birthday. Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Wait,
congratulations. Happy birthday.
Do we need to stop and sing?
Oh man. You may be on your own if you're singing.
I mean, I'm not going to
Is her sister there?
You say happy birthday, right?
Yes. I like to
singing.
say happy birthday.
Yeah. Happy birthday, unicorn dance. There you go.
There we go. All right. So the next thing I'm going to do here, now that you're right. I'm supposed to help you. I'm sorry. All right. So we got to free the horns here. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to make the hair for the unicorn and the tail hair. Well, I guess it's all hair, right? So the top hair, bottom hair for the unicorn. And by doing that, you're just going to get any yarn that makes you happy or that you have laying around your house. I love this super colorful yarn. I keep it around to make pom-poms with. So we're going to use this today. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to make the hair that goes on the top. So if you look at the unicorn here, it's got this cute little fringe coming, oh, here, I had it upside down. So it's got this cute little fringe coming out the top. And then out of the back of the unicorn is this long, beautiful tail. So we're going to start with the top here, and you're going to take the yarn and you're going to wrap it around 3 of your fingers, and you're going to go around 7 times. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right. Then if you're mom or dad, use your adult scissors here. Cut your yarn. Kids, use your kid-friendly scissors. And make sure that you're really careful not to let the yarn come undone. So you're just going to slide it off your hand, and you're going to place it right here for a second while you cut off another section that's about 5 or 6 inches long. So once you have that piece, you're going to tie the bundle of yarn here in the middle so that it's nice and tight.
Oh, I need help.
Okay, I'll help you in just a second. Let me get this hair made. Okay, so now you can see I've tied it in the middle, and then I'm going to take my scissors and pull. So from the knot, you're going to hold it in one hand, and you're just going to go through the loop in the middle, and you're going to cut right there. And so that's going to give you your hair that goes on the head of the unicorn. Now,
That looks like a
Hey,
doll.
Jen, do you want to take
Yes.
a little break and sing happy birthday? Her sister is right next to
oh,
her.
of course. All right.
Okay, we're gonna
I
sing.
need a red
We're going to sing happy birthday, Zoe.
Right, you ready to do a unicorn dance?
Okay.
All right,
And
ready?
and this is to Josie Joe, or
Yeah.
what's the name of the sister?
Let's see. Josie Joe's sister.
So that we can say Emmy.
Emmy.
Okay.
Yay.
Oh, I see Josie Joe and Emmy. Okay, cute. All right, ready?
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Happy
birthday to you. Happy birthday,
birthday,
dear
dear
Emmy. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to you. Oh, and Owen.
And Owen too.
And Owen too.
And
Oh,
Owen,
that's
too.
awesome.
All right.
Yep,
Oh.
I will show you how I did the yarn again. The tail is very similar. So we're gonna do the tail. Zoe, would you like to color some more parts on for your unicorn while we wait? Okay, what do you wanna make for your unicorn? You wanna make her a purse? Okay, so our unicorn is gonna have a purse. So I'm just gonna draw a nice little handbag
What do you want to draw first?
for the unicorn, and you're gonna color right there, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right, so again, this one we're gonna do the tail. And so for the tail, you're gonna use all 4 of your fingers, and you're gonna go around 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, when you get done, again, you're gonna be really careful. Just slip it off and set it down.
Let me do those.
And you're gonna cut the yarn at the end, and then you're gonna give yourself another about 6-inch piece of yarn, 5 or 6 inches here, like this. And then you're just gonna grab the bunch of yarn, pull that little piece through the middle. So see how it's like just sitting in there in the middle? And then you're gonna tie it real tight in the middle, like that. And I do it twice so it won't slip off. Now, when you're doing the hair that goes on the top, we talked about you hold it at the knot. So you see the knot right here on the side. You're gonna hold it right here, and you're gonna take your scissors and you're gonna go in the opposite side so that your hair is cut in half. And that's how you make the bangs. But we're gonna do the tail. So the tail's a little different. Wait 1 second. So you're gonna hold the knot right here with your left or right hand, and then right in front of your fingertips, you're gonna cut that part. So what you'll have is you'll have the knot and then like 1/2 inch of yarn, and that's where your cut's gonna be. And what that's gonna do is it's gonna give you a nice long tail. So your bangs were short, but your tail is long. Remember that too when you're doing your hair.
Hey, Jen, we have fun news. Bridget
Oh?
lost a tooth today.
What? Congratulations! You're gonna get a tooth fairy present.
Congrats.
And
All right.
Faith, we can use paper for the hair.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So for paper, we can talk a little bit about that. If you have a specific thing you want to use for the hair, we can talk through what that would look like. So here's the tail. So any questions about the hair and the tail? So the hair, you did the same thing. You just used more wraps for the tail, and you tied the knot. And then for the hair, you cut in the middle. And for the tail, you cut right next to the knot.
Jen, could you just repeat how many wraps it is for the hair and then how many is for the tail?
Absolutely. So for the hair, I did 7 wraps around 3 fingers. Now, I'm going to show you something on the side here. I wanted one of the ponies to look like Zoe, and Zoe has long blonde hair. So I made hair that's longer. So if you have long hair and you want your pony to look like you, then what I would recommend is you do the wraps like the tail. So you use all 4 fingers and you go around 10 times. And then instead of cutting it on the side, you cut it in the middle because it's hair. And then that'll give you nice long hair for your pony. But if you want short hair, like me, I have short hair, and I want my hair to stick up, I have my short hair right here. So just depending on if you want your pony to look like you or not, then you can do your hair differently. All right, any more questions about, I can make more hair if you guys want to see me do it again. So 10 times 4 fingers will get you the long tail or the really long pretty hair. And then 3 fingers 7 times, and all of this is in the directions too, will get you the short hair that goes on top.
Yeah, can you do the tail cut one more time, please?
Absolutely, absolutely. All right. Ooh, and this one's gonna start to be a different color. That's what I love about this yarn. It's all different colors and you never know what you're gonna get. All right, so for the tail, we're gonna do 4 fingers and we're gonna go around 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then very carefully slide the yarn off of your hand and lay it down so it doesn't unravel. Cut your tail, the tail of your yarn, not your ponytail. And then you're gonna cut off another piece that's about 5 or 6 inches long. And that piece is gonna go through the middle here. So again, you put it through the middle of the bundle of yarn so it looks like this. So you can see how it's running through the center, just like that. And you're just gonna tie a knot in the top really tight like this. And I'm gonna do it twice so it doesn't come unraveled. So 2 knots. All right, and since this is a tail, you're gonna cut right next to the knot. So you can see the knot right here at the top. I'm gonna hold it with my left hand, and then I'm gonna cut all the yarn about 1/2 inch from the knot, like this, so that you have your nice long tail. Okay?
Beautiful.
Awesome. All right, let's look at our paint tube. It's getting pretty dry. Just a little bit more time needed. All right, so the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue the hair to the inside of the tube. And the reason that I'm doing this now is because the glue is gonna take a little bit of time to dry. And I wanna give it as much time to dry before I put the horn on as I can. So this is what you're gonna use your liquid glue for. You can use Kids Elmer's glue. I believe, Catherine, you wanna share, you've got a different glue, I think.
Yeah, I do. It's also Elmer's, but this is a really great one for different kinds of materials. So it's Elmer's Craft Bond. It's good for fabric, yarn, paper, just about anything. It dries, clear, quick drying, but it's a little bit tackier, a little bit stickier than some other Elmer's glue. That's why it's one of my favorites.
Awesome. Okay, so you're gonna take your tube and you're gonna put glue just inside the tube here.
But not too much.
Not too much, but not too little. Thank you, Zoe. Always the practical advice. All right, so I'm going to use...
It looks
Oh,
like
go ahead.
Josie Joe is using hot glue.
Hot glue works
gun.
too. Just remember, hot glue and little children don't mix. So if you've got a parent or if you're old enough to use hot glue, that is a very good option. It'll dry a lot faster. So you can see right in here, I have a spot that's a little bit, yeah, it is white. Thank you. It is a little bit smaller than a dime. And then you're just going to take your hair, the short piece that's tied in the middle, and you're going to press it into the glue on the inside of your tube and just hold it for a little bit while it tacks up. And then you can set it to the side and continue to let it dry while we work on our ears and our horn and stuff like that.
Looks like Madeline's asking, can I use kid-made modern glue?
Yeah, as long as it's a liquid glue, it should work. You wouldn't want to use anything like the glue stick isn't, so we'll use the glue stick later when we attach the ears to the paper tube, and it works fine to bond paper and paper, but any kind of liquid or hot glue will work for the yarn. Oh, what is that?
Remember Zoe, the bad guy with the red dress?
Oh, okay. We have accessories for our pony. Bellamy, are you making any pony accessories?
I made a necklace.
Oh my goodness.
And
Can I get closer to that? That is beautiful. Oh my goodness, look at that, Zoe. I love that. I love your hair on there too. That's very cute.
my mom lets me choose which hair I want.
Can we see your purse?
Oh yeah, here, let's show her your purse. We're not quite done decorating the purse yet. There's the purse. And we have some jewels apparently that she's been working on, so. All right, so for those of you who might be doing the long-haired pony, your application of the hair is going to be a little bit different. So for the long-haired pony, what I found that works best is go ahead and sit the long hair on top of your tube, and then you're going to glue the ears on to the sides, and the ears are what hold the hair in place. So I'm gonna show you guys how to do the ears and the horn next. So take a piece of paper, whatever color you want, or I think Zoe made herself a rainbow horn. So she just took paper and used colored gel pens to make the horn. So if you just have plain paper, you can use that. If you have colored paper, I had neon paper, so that's what we get to use. Construction paper, cardstock, any of that will work for your horn. Did you guys use construction paper, Catherine?
Yeah, that's what we're doing. We've got some of our construction paper scraps, and we're just picking the color. I think we're both
Awesome.
Yellow horns, so just like you. Who knew?
Okay, great. So what I'm going to do I'm going to show you a couple of different ways to do the ears and the horn. So I'm just going to cut my paper in half to make it easier for me. All right. So one of the ways that you can do this is you can draw your ears and your horn onto the piece of paper, and I'll show you this in just a second when I'm done. And you can make them as big or as little as you want to. So 2 ears and a horn, and then you can decorate them on the paper, or you can cut them out and put them on just like this. I like to decorate mine on the paper. So you can just make like the inside of the ear if you want. This is one of those things that you can do in glitter, or you know, if you have another surface, you can use your watercolors and paint a watercolor. And then I like Zoe's idea of a rainbow horn, because what unicorn doesn't look awesome dressed in rainbow? Like am I doing a good job?
I want this. this one.
All right, you use that one.
It has a good color.
Yeah, so I'm just doing these with pens. Again, you can use whatever you have at home that works for you. That way we get a nice, colorful, happy horn. All right, so you can see right here, we did, is that focusing?
Yeah, it
Our
looks
ears
great.
and a rainbow horn. All right, and then you're gonna cut those out. So just go off of your little hand drawing here. Cut out your ears with your kid safe scissors.
I need the purple.
All right, hold on.
Oh, we have a question after you're done cutting. If you could repeat how to attach the mane to the paper roll, that
Yep.
would be really helpful.
So do you want the method for attaching where you glue it, or do you want the long-haired method?
Get to the right color.
Lily says her hair's not sticking on, so I
Okay.
think that'll be helpful for everybody.
Yep, no problem. So again, it takes the hair a little bit of time. So that's why we painted the tube. And as you see, mine's still sitting here drying. I want to give the glue as much time as possible to dry. So let's do, all right, I'm going to do,
I need the purple.
okay, yep, purple pen. There you go. All right, so I'm going to take the hair in the tube here. And I'm going to take my liquid glue, and just inside the tube right here at the top, you're going to make a small puddle about the size of a dime when it's had time. It's almost like the size of a pea when you're putting it on there if it's going pretty fast, but once it has time to like settle and spread out a little bit, it's about the size of a dime.
Here. Okay, here's all my jewels.
Okay, you got all your jewels. Oh my gosh, you're gonna have the most elegant pony ever.
I know.
Mine's gonna be some sort of rock star pony. All right,
Ooh,
so actually I'm
This
gonna
is
put a little
gonna
bit
be-
more.
better than mine.
No, there's no such thing as better than yours. These are all gonna be awesome ponies.
Oh, we found a great tip here. We used a clothespin to help it glue. That's
Oh,
a great
that's
idea.
genius. Yes,
Exactly what we were just grabbing. I was like,
paper clip, clothespin, that's genius. All right, so again, you have your glue just inside the tube here, and you're gonna take the hair with the knot in the middle, and you're just gonna press it into the glue, all in a clump, and you're gonna hold it just for a few seconds, and after it kind of gets tacked in there, you're gonna sit it to the side, and you're just gonna let it set up. So it needs to stay to the side as long as you can leave it before you touch it again and put your embellishments on. All right, so we have our ears and our horn. All right, so I promised you 2 ways to do the ears and the horn.
Can the jewels, can it be
Yeah, we'll put the jewels on yours.
there,
Yep.
there, and there?
Yep, we'll put them right there. All right, so my trick here for making your ears exactly the same is I took my piece of paper that I want to use and I folded it in half. Now, you can trace the ear that you want freehand, or you can just cut it freehand if you want. So I'm just going to cut my ear like this. And once I do, if you look, I now have 2 ears that are identical. So it takes half the time and they're exactly the same. And these ears are pretty small, so you can cut them until you're happy with them. And the same goes for the horn. You can use this side that's folded and you can cut in just a little bit here on the paper and then cut at an angle so that you have a triangle, and then unfold it and you're going to have your horn. So check that out. So this is a faster method than drawing it. And if you don't feel super comfortable drawing, you might take a stab at just like cut, that's a bad word to use. Try taking your scissors and just cutting freehand into the folded paper. And then you'll get consistent ear sizes and shapes that way. All right, how's it going over there, Bellamy?
I'm good.
What are you working on now?
We got our ears, we have our horns. We're starting to think about what a face should look like. I definitely take the folded construction paper route to try to just cut out my ears. Freestyle one, hold on, lay it over to make a template for the neck so that they're at least similar in size. So that's been our method.
Awesome.
Back to some tips on applying the mane to the paper tube. Tape has also been used, so that's a good one if you don't have glue or hot glue like others mentioned.
Yeah, tape is an amazing option. We use tape for a lot of our crafting, and just because the instant gratification of it, you know, sticking immediately. So yeah, that's absolutely a great option. All right, so I want to show you guys the next step, which is putting the face on the pony. So you can use your markers, you can use your glitter pen, you know, whatever drawing device you have. If you have pencil or regular pen, that'll work too. And then you're just gonna, at the top.
Looks like we lost you there for a second.
Yep.
Okay, there we go.
Sorry. All right, so at the top of your pony, or I'm sorry, at the top of your tube here, you're gonna put the eyes on. Now you can draw these any way you want. You can use googly eyes if you want. You can use any kind of craft, pom-pom. Just get creative with it. All right, there you go. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a regular Crayola marker and I'm going to draw a couple of little eyes like this. So they're just kind of like really shallow U shapes. And then you're just gonna put little bitty lashes on them if you want to, like this.
Cute lashes.
Now, this is not in the description either, but I always like to give my pony some lips. So we're gonna make really fancy pony lips here. All right.
My pony lips are gonna look different.
Are your pony lips gonna look different? That's fine.
I want mine to look like a silly face.
A silly face?
Yeah.
Yours is a silly pony? I'm pretty sure I can make that happen.
Tools.
All right, so if you'll remember then, after your hair is on, you're gonna put the horn on, and this is the part that it can be a little challenging if you don't let it dry enough, because the horn is glued to the back of the yarn. And if your yarn hair hasn't quite dried, then that can be challenging. So that's one of the big reasons for waiting here. All right, so I want to show you guys how to put the tail on. So you have your hair in the front, and then you're going to look at the back of the pony and down at the bottom. So if you're holding it like this and your hair's down and the front of your pony is at the bottom facing your table, at the very top and on the bottom, you're going to cut a 2-inch long cut into your tube. So you guys can see that. Got a little cut back here.
Hey Jen, once you're done with the tail, can you go back to the eyes, please?
Oh, of course. So once you've cut your little 2-inch cut here in the back of the pony, you're gonna take your tail. Remember, it has a knot at one end. And you're just gonna slide that knot, see, into this slit here at the pony, at the bottom of the pony. You're gonna go all the way up to the top of the cut, like this. See, here's how it looks on the side. You can see the little cut. That's the inside here. All right, so now you have pony with the hair in the front and then the tail in the back. All right, so you wanted me to go back to the eyes. So this is just my choice of eyes. You can draw circles with pupils. You can put googly eyes on there. Like I said, the one in our project sheet, it doesn't even have a mouth. I thought my pony looked kind of sad without a mouth, so I always give it pretty little lips.
Yeah, everybody has their own unique pony.
Absolutely. Zoe likes the eyelashes to be long and pretty like hers, so I always give her long pony eyelashes on her pony.
Madeline was also asking if, what about paint? So you can paint eyelashes or paint your eyes on if that's what you have.
Absolutely, yeah. So if you want to paint the face on, you can also use paper. So if you don't have a lot of colored options other than colored paper, you can always draw on colored paper and glue the eyes on. You know, googly eye, again, I keep saying googly eyes. I would put googly eyes on anything. So I love googly eyes. But yes, you can use anything that you have. Especially if you've wrapped your tube in yarn or something that's a little bit more textured, you might find that drawing the face on doesn't work as well as when you're using a paper tube. But for the paper tube, it really works nicely as a drawing surface. But again, if you've used ribbon or yarn to wrap your tube, then gluing something on might be a much better alternative for you.
Oh, it looks like we're getting a lot of different unicorns. Josie Joe has a alicorn, which is technically a unicorn with wings. She drew them on. And Juliana has called hers a fashion unicorn.
Oh man, that's awesome.
And Olivia's has a rock star Afro winter unicorn. Very cool.
I love all the creativity.
These are jewels.
I think we're starting on a scene for our unicorn to live in.
So here's my quirky unicorn.
Cute.
So this is my one with short hair, not the one with Zoe's long hair. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put the ears on. Now, the ears can go either way. You can put the ears on the outside, like I've done here on our sample. Here, let's try it the right way. You can put them on the outside. I like them on the outside because it shows more of them. Or you can sneak them down on the inside so that they're just poking out of the top. Like I said, I'm gonna do mine on the outside. And you're just gonna apply a little bit of glue on either side of the face here with your glue stick. And then take your ear and put a little bit of glue down on the bottom of your ear. And then you're just gonna put that on the spot where the glue was on your tube.
Wow, everybody's getting super creative. We've got a nurse unicorn and a sports unicorn with a sports band.
You guys are so creative. I love that. All right. All right, so I've put the ears on. So you see I just glued the ears to the side. It goes on really quick with that glue stick. And then you've got your hair in the middle. And we're gonna give it a little bit more time to dry before we go stick that horn on. So this is the fun part where you can decorate your horn, do your rainbow horn. You can give your unicorn a hat if you want to. If it's a nurse, you can give it a nurse's hat. You know, if it's playing a sport, you can make it a soccer ball or something. Zoe's is a fashionista apparently because hers is gonna have amazing jewelry on it. So you can apply all of that to your pony. This pony right here that we did the other day, she has a beauty mark and cute little cheeks.
Oh, we have a few rock star unicorns and an angel unicorn. How cool.
I like it. That's awesome. Oh, so your Rockstar one can have guitars or drums or whatever your Rockstar plays. That's a great idea. I love that.
That guitar that goes really hard.
Yeah, the electric guitar, that's right. And remember, you can make your unicorn horn as big or as small as you want. So if you want it to have a short little horn, that's okay. Or if you want it to be super long, that's cool too. And I've also found that if you have access to cardstock or something thicker, the horn seems to hold up better. You know, if you double up the paper, or you you know, use something that's a thicker material. So what you're going to do to attach the horn is on the back of the hair on the inside. So again, this is the face of the unicorn, and you're going to turn it over like this. So this is the back of the hair, and you're going to put a little bit of liquid glue back on the hair, and then you're just going to attach the paper horn to it. So see that little spot of glue, and then you're going to put the horn right back here on it like this, and then pinch it. And this is where I would say your paper clip or your clothespin is going to come in really, really handy, because then you're going to be able to keep applying pressure to this horn, because when it's done, what's going to happen is your horn's going to stick through, and it's hard to see because it's a green horn and green hair, but your horn is going to stick through the hair like that.
Hey Jen, so a couple questions, but also wanted to call out that Josie Joe added gems to her unicorn. And then the question is, are we doing any more of these kids clubs, and how can we sign up?
Oh, that's a fantastic question. I'm glad somebody asked. So what we're going to do is every Tuesday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time, we're going to have a kids club. So go back to the website where you signed up for this class, and you can sign up for our upcoming classes. I think a few of them are already posted. We're going to be doing different crafts on each day. So you can always look back and find the video of this class if you want to redo this class, and you know, you didn't get to do your pony, or you want to do your pony with your friends, then you can always go back and watch the videos. The future classes, I think next week we're gonna focus on Mother's Day projects, so that'll be super exciting. And then keep checking back, because we'll be posting new classes each week. Catherine,
can everybody show us their unicorns in progress?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Catherine, can we see how your unicorn turned out?
Yeah, we're gluing on her cheeks right now. She is gonna have pom-pom cheeks. She
Nice.
has a necklace.
Oh wow, they look great.
A striped corn. Oh, and her purse, cannot forget, that's coming next. I went ahead and added sneakers to mine. I don't know if you can see a little pink sneaker, but the other one is about to get glued on. So
That
when
is
everyone
so
was
cute.
making theirs fashion, mine became a mom. I don't know. She's wearing sneakers. She's here for the comfort.
I like it. Self-representative ponies.
Yeah, but I want to see what everyone's making out there.
Yep, that is awesome.
Now I have 5 because the rainbow.
Oh, I see some. Thank you for holding them up, everyone.
Here, let's look at everybody's ponies.
That's awesome.
Look at that. Oh, wow. So many people wearing unicorn horns, too. Oh, my goodness, guys. I'm so happy you guys could all join us today. And look at all the little smocks everybody's wearing. You guys are adorable. Look at all these ponies.
There's so many. They're so great.
Jen, would you be able to go over how to attach the tail one more time?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Okay, so if you look at my top-down video again, so you're going to have your tube, and so whatever the front of your tube is, you're going to flip it all the way over, and you're going to cut a 2-inch cut into the back of the tube so that it looks like this. And then you're going to take the yarn that has the knot at the end, not the one in the middle, and you're going to take the knot and you put it inside the tube, and you just run it up through this cut here in the back of the tube. So you're sliding the yarn up carefully up the cut so that the knot stays on the inside of the tube down in here, but the yarn that's loose falls out the back, so that when your pony is sitting up like this, you can see its lovely tail. Does that help?
I think it does. Another question, can I use tape to hold on my horn?
Say that again.
Can I use tape to hold on my horn?
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
we have another fashion unicorn and a unicorn named Emily. How cute.
Oh, that's awesome. All right.
And yes, that helped your instructions. Thanks, Jen.
All right, perfect. Is this the horn you want to put on your pony? Is that your rainbow horn that you want to use? Or do you want to use this one right here?
I want to use that one.
This one? Okay. So again, if you have the long-haired pony, what I would recommend,
My tail.
yeah, I'll cut your tail a little shorter. So what I would recommend if you have the longhorn or the long-haired pony is you're going to go ahead and put your ears and your horn on first. In a second. And then you're going to put your long hair on. And what I did is I just kind of split the difference on the hair, and you can lay the hair on either side of the ears like this, so that you have a cute little long-haired pony. See her cute hair?
Yeah.
And then there's her nice flowing tail.
Mama, can I?
You want a decorator?
lipstick?
Yeah, color or lipstick. All right, what questions? I think we've got a few more minutes here for questions. If anybody has any questions.
No questions yet. Juliana said that she's going to make a mustache unicorn.
Oh, that's amazing.
We made a background for our unicorn to live on.
Oh
So
my goodness,
cute.
that's cool. Very, very nice.
Unicorn habitat.
Hey, Karina, can you put the link to get to the 100 projects in the chat bar again? And
Yeah.
And then the link for how to get to sign up for more classes. I want to make sure you guys have that. And then tomorrow, the video of this will be posted on our classes and events page. And the cool thing is we've done some other online classes for all ages. And if you want, you can check out the classes there by watching the videos of previous classes. So each week or each episode, we post the following day on that page. So if you miss something, or if you just want to go back and look at something, you can go back to our classes and events page. All right. You guys did an absolute amazing job. Thank you guys for joining us for our first class. We're super excited. And we hope that you'll join us tomorrow as well, or I'm sorry, next Tuesday. You can come back tomorrow, we won't be here. But yeah, next Tuesday, we'll have a whole new project to do.
Bye,
Yes, you
everyone.
can use tape for your horn.
All right.
Thanks
Thank
for joining
you.
us. Have a great weekend.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
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 We'll see you next Tuesday. Thank
See you
you,
Tuesday.
everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Okay.